Oh, there it is. So for today, we're going to do an AR5 swap and an Is300. And I'm going to just give you the rundown on what parts to get, how to convert the AR5, which came out of a Pontiac Solstice 2006 to 2008, is the one that I like to go for. You can get the Colorado ones, but these fit a little better since all they are is R154s. So I give you the rundown and what parts to get, how to put it on, and then we'll just go from there. Lights, camera, action. For starters, I'm gonna give you the rundown on anything that you would need. Number one, you'll need an R154 bell housing, a 1JZ R154 bell housing. Toyota likes to put a purple paint mark right here, so you can definitely tell. A lot of people like to sell you the 7M ones, so just be aware. Usually they have the open slots here and the starter more on the side. The 7Ms are like up here and they look a little more narrow. You'll need an R154 retainer plate, which they still make, and they're actually cheaper buying them off eBay than if you go to like Drift Motion or any of those other places that kind of upcharge for them. You're gonna need your clutch fork, your retainer, which is the part number here. You're gonna need this retainer, and you're gonna need this as well, which is going to hook into the clutch fork like that when it's on the transmission. You're gonna need your pilot bearing, which is specifically for the AR5. The opening is bigger. If you have the R154 one, it won't work. If you have the W58 one, it won't work. The opening is not big enough. Let's see. Of course, you're gonna need the slave cylinder. These are optional, but these are clutch covers. Bell housing covers. They cover right here on the bell housing, and it just keeps water and dirt from getting into the brand new clutch. And you need an AR5 Pontiac Solstice or Sky clutch disc. I got this from FX Racing. I've seen a lot of BMW guys use them, and they seem to like them, so I bought it. It was on like $65. I'm not going turbo anytime soon, and if I do, it says it'll still hold up to 300, 400 horsepower, so we'll see how that works. You need a JZX 110 shift and retainer. If you have an Is300, this will put it directly in the spot that you need it. It'll make it damn near set up for an Is300. In the other car, you might gotta experiment, figure it out, but for an IS, this works. And you're gonna need your clutch bearing with your clutch hub. This one has the old bearing on it, but this is gonna go to your pressure plate. And you're gonna put your pressure plate on the splines, and that's how you're gonna get that on. I just bought a brand new one, but I kept the same clutch hub. And of course, you're gonna need the clips and retainers for that. And the part number for that is for that. Any other part numbers, I'll just put, I put the links for these. And the last thing is your mounts. I ended up buying this off of a dude. I don't know if he made it or if he bought it somewhere. I couldn't find it, but he was able to make this bracket work with the factory AR5 transmission mount. So this is gonna go on the car like that, and the factory mount's gonna go through there. If you don't have this, you can probably get it from Excessive. The W55 mount works, and you can call them to ask them what trans mount you can use for it. And of course, for the drive shaft, Excessive manufacturing got the best one. It don't vibrate, it don't move, it don't do anything crazy. Go with them. And you're gonna need a clutch line, which is from a Toyota Supra. You can just get one off eBay, and they're not really that important. This was like $30. It's probably like 40 now, but whatever. You don't need nothing fancy. And after that, we're just gonna put it together. So now let's take it. So I'm gonna start first by taking off the bell housing and the clutch throw bearing. Technically, this is a push style, but we're converting to a pull for the R154. You could probably make this work in some odd, weird way, but I'm not gonna do that. So for starters, this has 2 10s. I took one out already, but it There's 2 10s. Take that one out. This should come out with it. But since the bell housing's still on, I'm gonna leave the bell housing on. I'm gonna leave this on the shaft, and I'm gonna take the bell housing. That way it's all just gonna come off. I think they 14s. Get a 14. Extension. And we're gonna see. But I might have too much leverage with this, so I'm gonna have to go with this one. Hopefully I can still reach in there. I should be able to. Yeah, we good, we good. See how much different it's out. I think they're all the same size. Maybe not. Actually, no, they're not. No, they are. And once you got all the bolts out, yeah, they're all the same size. So you don't gotta really be careful about where you put them. Where you put them back to. They all the same. Stay in, all the same. Now all the bolts are out. Usually I have like a mallet, or maybe I can split it by hitting it just slightly. Nope, I'm gonna have to get a mallet. I'm gonna have to find a hammer. I'll be back. Oh, I got one. So one swing or two, it should be good. Make a little bit of noise. And it split it a little bit, and I'm hitting on the side. Just to get some of the things off. Okay. Comes off as one. Boom. Throw it away, put it on eBay, whatever you want to do. So the next thing we do is, now it's time for the retainer plate. That has to be removed. I did drain the fluid, but there's a good chance that there may still be a little bit in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift it, just sort of send some of the fluid to the back, then take off all those. Probably put a rag under it just in case. And they're 12 millimeters. Take 12. What's 10 is 12. Hopefully it don't leak out. If not, I got some rags. They got Loctite on them too. I probably use blue, but we'll see. Now the goal is to get this off. It might not come off easy. Probably give it a little bit of tap side to side. Just a tap, 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 tap. probably trying to look for an edge, something to cover, something to get a little bit onto. Right here, boom. So a little tab on this side, you can probably pry against it. Probably not a lot, but boom, came right up. That's the old one. Now all this got to be cleaned up. Probably use some Scotch-Brite. I'll see if I got some laying around. Use some Scotch-Brite. It's probably gonna be the quickest and easiest way to do it. Starting to come off now. Want to do the maintenance surfaces. You know, don't need to be that crazy. After you get that off, just put some RTV on your retainer plate and then slide it on. See if I can slide it, but actually, you know what, while I'm here, before this dries, I know it's kind of bad, but let me get this out the way. It ain't gonna dry that fast, but I want to just clean this up. All right. Retainer plate is in. Put your bolt ends and go. So now that your retainer back on, tighten all of them. I think they get torqued to like 15 foot-pounds, if I'm not mistaken, 15 to 17 foot-pounds. Or just good tight them, just make sure they straight and don't over torque them. And then boom. Then now, we're gonna put on the belt housing. Boom. The belt housing. And let's just go from there. I'm gonna set you up over here. Make sure we can see. Good on that. All right, yeah, we can see. So. There's a dowel right here that it has to go on, and it might need some grease. Maybe it's just dirty as fuck. Try to clean that too. That was a little better. Yep, a little better. Then you can probably just go it on the original way. Put the screws back in. pull it together the rest of the way. I always put bolts in the star pattern anyway. It's always simpler that way. Tighten it all the way, because some of them still need to see how it gets like kind of caught. Then we'll run this side one. It is closed. Yeah. Wow. So, two things. These bolts down here might need to be a little bit longer. Oh no, we're good. Never mind. And I have my gun turned all the way down. All the way down.
Ruel, stop playing.
I think I'm missing. I was missing one. Pretty much that's it for the front. Now we're gonna take all of that off and put on the JZX 110, which is gonna go bang bang. Now, a lot of people tend to, when they remove this, there's a little shifter ball in here that I'll show. They tend to buy the one from the JZX 110 or the R154 to put it on in the inside. You don't need to. All you need to do is just swap this over. You can keep the ball on there. You don't have to separate the tail shaft housing. Just keep the ball on there. So this just comes off with all of those 12s. Coating that on, this one, and the one on the exact adjacent other side. And then that's it. This is what I was talking about. You don't need to change it. It is the exact same. See? I just cleaned the surface as much as I could from that, because that's just an RTV gasket versus a paper gasket on the R154. So that slot goes right over that. So it might be a little bit hard to get it. I think it is in neutral. So let's see if we can do it with one hand. Let's see if I can one-hand it. Did I get it on there? Nope. Try. And we on there. Put your bolts back in. There, came off. You get the point. I'm gonna put it on there. So I didn't change none of that. And look, if I can get it to go into gear again, boom, bang, back to neutral. I can't do nothing else though, but it does work. And then after that, I'll put the mount on, and that's pretty much it for everything you need to put it together. And a lot of people like to shave this down. You don't need to shave that down either. You're completely fine. It's gonna work. Trust me. I also forgot about this piece. So I put that in with some 12s and make sure that retainer is going the exact way that this is.
Ruel, stop playing.
Otherwise, when you try to put in your shift work, if that isn't backwards, it's not gonna stay, it's gonna fall out. You're gonna push it in, and it's gonna go like this. But now, how you know it's in right, you go up, and you push it in, and now it stays. That's how it's supposed to go when you put your clutch on here, then you put this in on last. So I'm gonna pull it back out. Damn, if I can get it. Shit. There we go. And also you wanna grease that slider right there. You wanna grease it as much as you can. This part and that part. Just grease as much as you can. Then you're gonna put a little bit of grease right here as well. And on the shaft right here and the splines, just a little bit.